What is good, everybody? It's your boy Cam. I just want to talk about last night's game between the Mavericks and the Jazz. And actually, the Mavericks picked up the win over the Jazz last night. So, actually had an 8-point win. And I want to talk about some of these stats from the Mavericks who went in double figures. Kyrie Irving finished with 23 points. Klay Thompson finished with 18. Luka Doncic finished with 15. Derek Lively finished with 14. And PJ Washington finished with 12, and Spencer Dinwiddie finished 11 points coming off the bench. And honestly, I would say the last rotation from the Suns game was kind of a mess. What Jason Kidd did, he didn't really play everybody, but I think the way he used his rotation last night was much better. So actually, last night was a scary injury from Taylor Hendricks. He actually had a very bad ankle injury, and he fractured his fibula, and he dislocated his ankle. And now I've been finding out he's actually going to be supposed to be missing for the rest of the season, and that's not really good for the Utah Jazz. And even though they're in rebuild mode right now, trying to regroup ever since they traded Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert. And honestly, Luka did have a very off game last night after he scored 40 points against the Suns from Saturday. But Klay Thompson and Kyrie was able to step up for him. And honestly, I think the bench did a little better last night than they did against the Suns. And honestly, Najee Marshall is not looking good offensively. He's struggling from three, but he's still putting up some good defensive work ever since his first time playing for the Mavericks. And like Klay Thompson hit like 4 threes. And so far, Klay Thompson's looking pretty good playing with the Mavericks. And actually, they're playing tonight at the Minnesota Timberwolves, who the Mavericks defeated in the conference finals in 5 games last year. And now this is the first time we won't be seeing Karl-Anthony Towns with the Timberwolves. And now they got only one big man, which is Rudy Gobert. And I think the Timberwolves need another big now. But don't forget who they got. They got Naz Reid. He's a big, but he's only 6'9". He's pretty too small to play center. But again, Naz Reid did step up for Karl-Anthony Towns when he was out with an injury last year. No, 2 years ago, excuse me. But when they had Karl-Anthony Towns, they were definitely title contenders. But I don't see the Timberwolves being title contenders anymore. I see them as a second round playoff team. That's where I see the Timberwolves at. And now they have Dante DiVincenzo and Julius Randle. Their offense does look good still, but they're still missing like another big. And I still don't understand why the Timberwolves traded Karl-Anthony Towns. But hey, it is what it is. But Maxi Kleber is out tonight, and they're talking. And actually, there's been rumors they might trade him at the trade deadline. And Dante Exum's not playing tonight. He's out with an injury with his wrist. He's supposed to be out for 3 months. But hopefully, once we get Dante Exum back, we will definitely be an even stronger team, because we definitely need him for defense. He may not score a lot, but we need more guys to guard, especially when we play the Boston Celtics later on in February. And honestly, about last night's game, but definitely keep Taylor Hendricks in his prayers. And hopefully he will bounce back from his injury going into next season. And I feel really bad for the Utah Jazz right now. And last night, Luka picked up a tech, which was, hey, that's his Luka. He just stays complaining, man. And he looked like he was about to get another tech and get ejected when the game was almost over with under a minute. I'm like, dude, don't you start just giving the ref the ball, just go to the bench. But and obviously he did that. But tonight will be a big test another big road test for us after taking on the Timberwolves tonight in Minnesota. it should be an interesting game, and hopefully, and we can come up with the dub. If we get the win against the Minnesota Timberwolves, we straight, man. And Derek, I still like the I honestly prefer Derek Lively to start over Gafford, just because he's been playing so much better off the bench. Gafford, don't get me wrong, Daniel Gafford's good, but Derek Lively is definitely the future of the Mavericks. But I think Derek Lively is better than Gafford. I think Gafford, but I think the difference between Gafford and Lively, Gafford's faster, but Derek Lively is a little bit more physical than Gafford is. That's just me. But I honestly don't care who starts, but I think the rotation with Gafford and Lively switching it each like maybe like 7 or 10 minutes, which is I'm okay with that. As long as we get our rebounds, we'll be good. But I honestly think the Timberwolves may have trouble rebounding tonight. Just now they don't have Karl Anthony Towns anymore, and pretty much Rudy Gobert is the only center who they got now. And now they're gonna have to find another big or something. But I think we're straight on bigs now. When we drafted Derek Lively, we finally got a center, but we needed like a backup center. But now we got Gafford, which is that made our defense and rebounding better. But they did struggle rebounding against the Phoenix Suns that Saturday. Yusuf Nurkic was just killing us in the paint that Saturday night. And Jason Kidd kind of played small that Saturday night, which is I don't understand why he likes to play small sometimes, but hopefully he uses the same rotation like he did last night going into tonight's game against the Minnesota Timberwolves. And it's going to be a tough one since we're on the road, but hopefully we get the win, man. But we definitely have a lot of work to do still. It's a long season, and it's going to be a good one. And so after tonight, after the Minnesota game, so Thursday night, they take on the Houston Rockets, which is the Rockets got the dub against the San Antonio Spurs last night. And then the Sunday night, we take on the Orlando Magic, which is going to be another tough one. So the Orlando Magic has gotten better, too, ever since they got their number one draft pick 2 years ago, Paolo Banchero. And Paolo Banchero actually had 50 points, I think, last night when he played. Yeah, Orlando Magic definitely going to be a problem in the future. And they're still young, and they definitely going to be a stronger team going into this season. But, again, the only problem is in the East is the Boston Celtics. So they still look strong like they did from last year. But we'll have to see, though. So, well, that includes tonight from our podcast. I will see you on the next one and give y'all feedback on the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Mavericks game. Let's go, Mavs. Let's get this dub tonight.